What's up, dweebs, and welcome to episode 1 of Mr. Satan's DweebCast. I'm your host, Mr. Satan, and I have an interview with my friend Trey for you guys today. He's who helped me get more seriously into watching anime. He introduced me to a lot. We talk about his favorite characters, his favorite shows. We talk about his favorite anime games and movies. We talk about spoilers of Black Clover between minutes 18 and 40 and minutes 47 and 50. I have alerts that come up that say spoiler alert. You have been warned, and bear with me. Just skip over if you aren't caught up. But it's pretty important. Trust me, if you have seen it, you know. And he brings out some of his anime memorabilia later in the episode, and it's a solid episode. I'm proud of it. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me all the things you do and don't like about it. Here it is, episode number 1, Mr. Satan's DweebCast. All right, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Good. Another day.
This is my friend Trey. I've known Trey for a couple of years now. I started working with him at the security company, and he kind of got me introduced to a lot more anime. You convinced me to start with Bleach, and then I took off from there. I used to make fun of you guys for Naruto, and now I'm the biggest, not the biggest, but I'm definitely a Naruto. I watched the series twice over. Like, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Oh.
Yeah. Thanks for consuming my life with endless content. Yeah. So where did you start with anime? What's your anime history?
Naruto was what I started with. Like a brief synopsis is I started with Naruto. I ended up getting off anime for a while. And then what really got me back into anime and watching anime a lot more was Soul Eater. And then
Soul Eater. I still haven't watched that one. Is that a shonen?
I don't think so.
I
don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah. No, it's one of the classics though. I think it's considered one of the main, more mainstream animes. What got you back into anime with that anime? Like, who showed you it, or what drew you to it?
I think it was, I can't remember, but it was someone at my school. They watched a ton of anime, and I was like, oh yeah, I used to watch it way back when, and they were like, they said, well, why don't you watch it again? So I asked them, I was like, okay, what's one I should start with, and they said Soul Eater, and so I started with Soul Eater, watched about
just simple recommendation.
Yeah, just decided hey, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And so I watched, I think I want to say it was 4 or 5 episodes, because the first few episodes are each character. So I watched about 5 episodes.
It really introduces you.
And then once I got into the actual story, I was like, all right. And then I binged it. And then I was like, there's a whole world waiting for me out here. And so
maybe it was a way that it introduced you. I think people sometimes don't get hooked on anime right away, or don't get hooked until later in life, because they didn't start with the anime that goes at the pace that they need to go at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That one, to really pull you in, it had to make you watch 3 to 4 episodes in a row, and then you chose to watch 2 more after that because you liked headed animes that build and pick up fast are awesome. That's why I just binged the hell out of Black Clover.
Oh yeah.
Oh bro. Let's go back. So after Soul Eater, where'd you go after that?
Yikes. I was pretty much watching what was ever on why can't I think of this?
Tsunami?
Netflix.
Oh,
not Tsunami.
Netflix. Okay.
I was pretty much just going through their anime. I just would look up anime and go through and be like, haven't watched this, let's watch it. So I think after that it was Sword Art. So I started with the mainstream ones first, and then I slowly after sailing the seven seas to watch a lot of the anime that I wanted, I was like, you know what, I should probably get a streaming
Crunchyroll
service. So
account.
I got Crunchyroll and Funimation, and from there I was just like, the gates were open. I was watching everything that I could.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm getting better. I have such a hard time binging subbed shows. I can binge dub no problem, but binging sub shows, my ADD just. Whew. I found if I watch it on my phone, then I don't look at my phone.
Yeah, that's my issue is I'll like, or if it's a show that like I don't super, I'm really only watching it just to say that like I know about it. I
Right?
have a
You want
really,
to be like included on the
yeah.
hype, right?
So I
Yeah.
feel really bad because I'll get like like 40 episodes in, and then I'll gradually start looking at my phone in the backup, gradually look at my phone and back up, and then the next thing I know, I'm like looking at my phone and I'm like, I have no idea what these people are saying. I don't know
Yeah,
Japanese.
and it doesn't even have to be subs for that to happen. Sometimes dubs, I do that with dubs too. Like, I hate to say it, but I really had high hopes for Hunter x Hunter. Everyone told me because of the different aspects of different animes that I like, I will be the perfect person to love Hunter x Hunter. And I forced myself. I am at a stalemate. I'm at a stalemate at like episode 118 or 119. I have stopped many a times through it and like picked up and finished other entire series. I it's just I don't know. It's not that it's too weird of an anime for me because I like what I've seen of JoJo's and other weird animes. It's that I don't know. And also such a highly acclaimed shojo I did not know was only 140 something episodes.
Yeah,
That's kind of
there's
rare, isn't it?
I I want to say I could be wrong on this, but I thought the manga just ended. Like the writer was just
Yeah,
like upped and ended,
yeah,
and then they were like,
yeah.
okay, well we're just gonna finish here then.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the snobs think like should have happened with Naruto at certain points and everything. Like, oh no,
Yeah,
you should have just ended it here, man. I'm like, no, it's this beautiful legacy that goes on forever. Fuck you. You like Star Wars, dude. Like,
they're like, end
like I
after the
like
pain, end after the pain fight. How?
exactly. I'm like, well, oh, you mean after they just tap into one of the main bad guys of the larger enemy organization? Sure, let's stop now.
Yeah.
After we just saw like a sliver of what the power can be, the pain fight's my favorite fight. My favorite scene from Naruto in general is Naruto uh appearing like being summoned into the what was the hidden leaf
Oh
with all
yeah.
the three giant toads and Yamakichi and or Gamakichi and it's just like I don't know. I put it in my intro. Like I love that how
Uh,
it and it does this weird drum thing with
Oh,
the
that.
music that it
Yeah.
oh and you're
I
just sitting there like oh
that, and
bitch.
it's, I want to say it's either that episode or the episode. No, I think it's the episode after when Naruto asked Lady Tsunade, he's like, "Is Kakashi on a mission?" And she's like, "No, he's not."
Uh,
And you're like,
uh,
"No."
right? Right? And you're like, if Naruto can't sense him with Sage chakra, then he's for sure gone.
He's not in the
Right?
land of living. Yeah.
Yo, Sam, so I watched it all and Sam rewatched all of it. She's for real at the episode of like the backstory of Ashi the two sons of Kaguya. She's
Gotcha.
at like that back episode in the
Six Path
middle, like
Sage and then the brother.
yeah, yeah. While she got Naruto and Sasuke like this with Black Zetsu on like half their bodies, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's there, but I remember I Kakashi's like her favorite character in Naruto, and I remember when she was watching that and like it takes a lot to get her choked up, and there's certain things that make like I on the other hand get choked up about everything.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I cried at least 3 times during the fight when Choji grew his wings and shit.
Oh
At
yeah.
least 3 times. So she unexpectedly got all upset whenever she thought Kakashi was dead, bro. She swore she was pissed off. She swore Kakashi was dead, and she was pissed off. And just they did such a good job uh, uh, before the fourth Great Ninja War of convincing you things that weren't actually happening,
Yeah.
or that were going to be reversed and the wrongs were righted. I don't know. I just not that I dislike the fourth Great Ninja War. It's just not perfect, and we can all admit that, even as narcards.
Asuma didn't have to die.
Oh man, hey, I have a problem. I was just talking to my buddy Zach about this. I have a problem with Konohamaru should be way cooler in Boruto.
Yeah, I
Oh, his dad was a god of, or his grandpa was a god of shinobi. Like,
yeah, I don't understand it. Like, I realize and one of the I'm not caught up in any way, shape, or form, but
same.
like I've seen like snippets where I'm like, okay, yeah, like I feel like he's super awesome, but they refuse to show us how cool he is. Like they're like saving it for some serious fight where Konohamaru has to be like a badass.
Right. And I'm like, but your grandpappy could wield 4 chakra natures.
Yeah, like
Fuck a Keke totem. Like, we didn't even have a name for it because only old Gramps could do it. Like, what?
yeah,
And you're just he's not Kakashi level. He should be Kakashi level of sensei. Kakashi, the reason he was such a good sensei though is because he wasn't the stereotypical. See, Konohamaru is more of a stereotypical sensei, and like for a shojo, Kakashi wasn't the typical sensei. He was more like a ninja. He was mysterious. He had these different things and these different backstories you didn't know, and he was sad inside and shit, and like that he had some like internal conflict. I just rephrased sad side shit as internal. It's like
hey, there you go. It's good. It was a good one.
it's a good save.
I'm impressed.
But yeah, I think that's I guess why Kakashi's so great, and Boruto is just he can never be what Naruto is. So he can't be Naruto in Sasuke level. So are they just like not even gonna bother focusing on making the side characters as big as staples as they were because now the main characters are so overpowered? I don't know. We both need to read or watch more Boruto.
Yeah,
I,
I
I
need to.
just I just know it's not going in the exact direction I want it to go. I like the continuation of the Naruto universe and that like every like little like just like seeing that universe prosper more, like the hidden leaf like prosper more and like all these different like lineage being passed on and their different moves being different now because they're kids. That all that stuff's really cool and I really like that and value that. But it need to be way more lit and supposedly where the manga's at it's intense now and I can't scroll through YouTube without seeing
Stepping
like
on a spoiler.
oh man there's this one about I don't want to say it because I don't want to ruin it for everyone else. Nope. Just be careful which thumbnails you read the titles
Yeah.
of, guys. When you see that Boruto face with the scar and shit, just know that's probably
Oh
too
yeah.
far for you to
Yeah,
out.
I think I know which one you're talking about. But yeah. Speaking
Yep.
of,
Yep.
so did you watch a few episodes of Demon Slayer?
I'm on episode 3. And
Episode 3.
I like it. Okay, so did you probably didn't watch the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so the bad thing is a lot of also similar in the My Hero Academia movie. Okay, they incorporated CGI in a way that made the fight scenes look like cutscenes in a video game.
I can
It was a
see.
little better in My Hero, but in the Broly movie, it was ugly. I didn't like it. I'm not even an anime snob. I'm not a weeb. I'm a dweeb, bro. But damn,
I will say
it,
there's
but 1 second. But the beautiful thing about Demon Slayer, the thing that I mostly love about it, is that it is a beautiful moving painting of. It's a masterpiece. It's so cool. The way it's done. It's the way other animes should aspire to be animated.
yeah, it's like they get better with the fight scenes. I will say the first 3 episodes are pretty. There's it's okay.
Dude, I'm already, yeah, exactly. I'm already like hyped because he has to slice the stone or whatever, and
Yep.
I'm like, well, that's way, bro. Just forget about that. Go walk down the mountain, bud.
Yeah, it's.
but, yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it gets a lot better with the fights. Like they do they do make the first ones look pretty rough. But yeah, no, they've got like where I'm at now, it's really good.
Yeah, well, I know that there's like I think maybe it was the intro or I saw somewhere online like it looked like he has some kind of like water dragon shit coming out of his sword or whatever, and
Yeah, the
I'm like,
techniques.
okay, so it does. It's just got to build up, right? I'll let it build up. I'm gonna give it its time to build up because my favorite animes are always ones where someone gets an unexpected power or just stumbles upon an unexpected universe and has to like really build themselves. That's why I tried watching ReZero last night while I was editing, and
Yeah.
didn't I didn't fall in love with it because it was I liked the humorous different outlook on it, but that's not the kind of anime that's gonna keep me coming back.
Uh, What
Like
episode
he
did you
was
get
just
to?
so just two. I don't know. I
The
mean, I
issue
could give
with
it an.
the issue with it, because it's like even trying to rewatch it, I feel like is because he dies and he restarts the day. Beginning of that show is very like bad with pacing. Like they literally keep you in the same
Uh-huh.
like room for like 3 or 4 episodes until finally after, and then you like slowly move up from there. But I will say that one is definitely bad about it. I do not blame you for
Okay.
getting bored after the
So
second episode, because I don't even like the first few episodes.
no, that's good. I'll give it another chance because it's a dubbed one, and I can watch that one like while I edit and other things. But so speaking of these newer animes, Black Clover.
Hmm.
You watched episode 100 this week?
Yes, I am caught up. Try
Uh,
to think of what I remember. Okay, yeah, no, I remember what's going on.
I mean, it was the most beautiful. Hey, that reaction.
I was like, what
The
went
most.
down? I was like, I can't. I was thinking of the episode prior, and I was like, yeah, that was kind of cool. But then I was like, oh no, I remember everything that happened. Yeah.
No, last episode was the most hype. If Yuno and Asta can't whoop them with their strongest forms yet, like they're not getting back up from that. They got like shot off like Team Rocket.
Oh yeah, no, they got just just
We're blasting off again.
except you wish it was towards the sky, because then it wouldn't have hurt as much. They got blasted into the ground.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was like a volleyball spike with the fucking.
Okay, but let's talk about, they hit the ground so hard with such impact, and Mimosa's okay. Like 2 feet away, she's just standing there like, oh man. I don't
Right?
understand.
It didn't do some like cheesy anime stuff where like it made a big crater when they fell.
Yeah, it was just like a dry thud against the ground. I was like, oh, that's when you know it hurts. Like you really feel that.
If it did that and like just Asta like losing the wind, like
It
that would have
just
been great. Just realistic.
the real like
That
gasp, like ugh.
hey, realistic is one of the things I like about that anime because in the have you watched any of the dub or only sub? I know you're a weeb, so
Um,
probably only sub.
I've listened. I've watched a little bit of the dubbed with Jacob, my friend Jacob, trying to get him to
Right.
watch it. but we didn't
Oh,
get
dude,
far.
Jacob would love it. He didn't get far.
We
Man,
didn't get far. We're still
that
trying
one
to
has such
get
perfect
Naruto.
pacing. That one has such perfect. It's it throws you in that world, man, and it does a perfect in between of everyone has really developed powers and there's far more powers than you can understand, but it also does a really deep understanding of like how Asta is developing his own powers piece by piece and like senses by senses. It
That's
really, it doesn't show everyone else how they learn spells or whatever, how the new one comes in the book.
yeah.
See them kind of overcome their you know whatever, but they're yeah, and oh my gosh, 2 episodes before that or 1 episode before that when you got to see, spoiler alert, RIP Wizard King, his
Oh yeah.
grimoire, bro, because
It's
like
just
right
the endless
before
cover.
that, because it was like in the beginning of that episode or the beginning of the episode beforehand, it was like there was like some kind of pre-context where they were like the size of a mage's grimoire decides how like powerful they are and how many
And his
spells
is
they know.
just he's like, "Where's your Gwimmer?" And he's like, "Are you wondering where it's at?
Right.
Look
It
above you."
said that in the beginning of the episode, and you're like, I wonder. I knew when it said that, I was like, oh, someone's gonna have a big book. Someone gonna have a big book. And the way it made his big in the way that it didn't have a cover, it kept going around. I was
Yeah.
just like, that's such a that I wasn't expecting it. That
Well,
was
that and
that
like
was just
Lick's like looking around for his grimoire, and he's like, "Are you confused?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Look above you." And he's just like, "Oh no."
uh-huh. Looked like something out of a Pokemon movie where they have like animated gears and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the
Oh yeah,
way
that or like a Yu-Gi-Oh like spell trap card
yeah.
activated. It's just like
Hey, speaking of trap cards, my boy Zora, I think he's one of my favorite characters. That's not a main
oh
character.
yeah,
Like, I wanted to ask
I
your
he's
favorite
yeah
character, and
he's probably my like out of Asa, he is my second favorite.
yes, that's what our question was. I was gonna ask, besides main characters, who's your favorite? Dude, the
His trap
way
magic is
is
so cool, and he utilizes it
yes,
so well.
yes, he's Shikamaru.
Yeah, he's literally like it's less like he has what would be considered like a more like not wanted like magic because everybody wants like offensive magic and like the Magic Knights where he's like solely defense, but he can use it as an offense by just like strapping one to himself and like
And the thing is he's using something everyone else can use.
yeah, like
And it's like,
it's
oh
you have to have a
no,
good
I'll
mind.
just get. I feel like that's more of his slap in the face, even more so.
Oh yeah.
If like how like his fighting style, even just more describes why he fights.
I also say the one person I'm also interested in is the guy that controls the Black Bulls hideout. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh, Henry.
Henry, yeah. And it's just, hey, you guys. Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
Dude, I have. I think Magma, isn't that his name? The little fire dude.
Yeah, the baseball bat.
I think he's not one of my favorites, but him being such a pivotal offensive strong character like this, he's gonna like he's gonna one up whenever he's gonna be the one who has to take down his buddy, the lightning dude.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna
Luck.
be them having to fight for
Which just
sure.
sucks because Luck is like my third favorite. I really like Luck.
There's something so unique about all of their characters are so the thing I think black maybe it is what maybe it's this maybe black, the members of the Black Bulls are like different typical stereotypes for anime characters combined with other unlikely stereotypes for their anime
Yeah.
character. It's like unusual combos within each person. Finral, my third favorite.
Oh yeah, the
Finral, my three favorites are Finral, Yami, and Zora. Not in any order, but those three. Each one is so unique. Like
So I'm trying to think of my third one. I am listening, but I'm trying to think of my third
No, no,
one.
no. I would thought you were. Yeah, I was making sure. I was making sure you didn't have any. Who's your top? So Luck,
Uh,
Zora.
Lux, Zora, and then I'm trying to think of my third one. You can
There's
keep talking.
something amazing about. I really, really liked the witch arc, and I was like, really love. I think Vanessa's move had to come in more. Her new special move, the red thread cat
Oh
thing.
yeah, where she's like,
That's
wait, what?
gotta.
Wait, what? And then
That's gotta come more into play. Like that's such an
oh,
like you're.
I'm sure it will.
It has to. It has to.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if she can like touch the Wizard King with it and just it'll be reversed, or if it's too far past.
Yeah, I feel like it's her like the issue with her power, which I could be totally wrong, is I think I'm wondering if it's like split second, like
Right, right,
changes. I don't know. Like I'm sure there's probably a spell that she could use that would like
right. It turns
undo,
into a
but I feel like
big
there's
ass
so
cat
much
or like a
time has
lion.
passed. Yeah,
It turns into a larger cat breed and
yeah.
it's a powerful spell.
I'm trying to think of my third favorite. Definitely not the
uh
Saiyan twins. Sorry, I can't.
what about real the little painting captain from the Aqua Deer?
I
He's
yeah.
such a unique character. He's not my
I
favorite, but
He's not my
man,
favorite. I like him, but he's not because I was gonna say him, and but I don't know. I'm all over the place with him.
if Jacob could get through Black Clover into enough, I feel like Jacob would have some weird love for him.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
uh,
I just can't even think.
also, I feel like this doesn't do anything for the listeners, but I feel like Jacob could also embody Finral.
Oh yeah. Hello, beautiful
if Jacob
ladies.
wanted, if he wanted a little bit of confidence boost, he might to
Yeah,
the light highlight.
little green highlights, make it go to the side a little more.
I thought that was such a cool, different, like weird thing for an anime to like point out and do. I was like, did you want to do character redesign really bad with him? Is that did you and you make this excuse, or is that part of his character development that says like just more establishes that he's more of a socially anxious character? I don't know. Finral's unique, and I think I don't know his battle with his brother coming up that we all know is
Oh
coming.
yeah.
It's gonna be. And is Yami gonna be the one that take down Leaked? I mean, he's darkness. Leaked is light. It seems like it has to be Yami.
Unless the only thing my theory is I'm guessing we're gonna see some like almost kind of like the tailed beast like takeover, like when they get like when the tailed beast kind of takes over and they start going the Jinchuriki mode. I know they have an
For
actual thing for.
Asa?
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna like end up dipping too far into the anti-magic, and we're gonna see that demon again. 'Cause there's no way they would. I feel like they wouldn't just. I don't know. I
It
feel like
doesn't cap there, obviously.
yeah, that and like they brought him in that the episode in the witch arc where he's like they made him out to be like
In
this
the
huge and
yes,
a giant
he's
thing, and
in
then
the
they're like,
Hollow World,
yeah,
or
and they're
he's in
like,
the
and we'll never mention
yeah.
him again. And I was like, what? So I feel like either it's gonna be Yami with the light versus
Right.
dark.
I
We're
thought
gonna
for
see.
sure it was gonna be a Naruto. One second. I thought for sure it was gonna be a Naruto type or Bleach type situation where every time he confronted power, he was gonna be sent back into the like that world.
Yeah,
Have that
that's what I thought.
subliminal
That's
conscious
definitely what I thought.
stream.
Like he could
I would
communicate
love
with
that.
it.
If you guys want to do that, go ahead and go back to doing that, please.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's why
so
I think
Yami,
Yami or I think Asa's gonna like have like a berserk mode or something like that where he just like it's like maybe not kill licked or like defeat licked, but do enough to lick where he's like at like ground zero, and then Yami just kind of comes up and is just like, eh.
right. Yami takes his life because he doesn't
Yeah,
want Asta's heart to become unpure.
yeah, oh yeah. Or that random ice assassin chick's just gonna be like, eh.
I think Who do you think's gonna have to face off against this new overpowered captain of the Blue Rose Knights, Charlotte Rose? Because that woman is embodied by somebody important to that. She's,
Arc.
yeah, she's kind of gonna be a more pivotal character
That
whenever it comes down to the final fight, I think.
that's why I think they're saving because they've gone back to it twice now, talking about the fact that her like her other body, like when she was actually the regular like person, not
Yeah,
the elf.
they brought her backstory into
Like they brought her
such an
backstory
intense
once and
episode.
then they did it again. So I have a
Right.
feeling I don't think Yami's going to be fighting the blue or licked very much because I feel like they're saving
Uh
Yami to
huh.
fight her and they're going to have that be like its own thing and then they're going to either A bring in someone new or it's going to be Asa and doing like some Yuno's going to do like a complete crown or like Asa's going to go like full berserk mode and take him down. I don't know. I feel like Yami is going to be the blue. Like that's the person that's going to take the Blue Rose captain down.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anything like, oh, all the Black Bulls have to use teamwork together to defeat.
Well, that and some of them aren't even like Gotch. I think his name's Gotch.
Ghosh,
Gotch. The mirror dude.
my
Because
sweet
he's
Marie.
my sister. Yeah, like because then he's fighting. I can't remember her name. The shapeshifter and the poison guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
and plus, how? I mean, Finra would have to leave Yami and go get the rest of the Black Bulls from the hideout, wouldn't he?
well, only two of them are there, or three technically, or four
Uh, if
if you count
four.
Henry. But Henry can't
Hey,
leave the
bro,
place. Well,
Henry, big part of the team now. Okay.
but Gotch is or whatever his name is. Gotch. I'm gonna call him
Ghosh.
Ghosh.
Gosh, it's Ghosh.
Ghosh is fighting the other two, so like, and that and Magma and I can't remember the thread chick.
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Magma and Vanessa aren't even near the Black Bulls hideout. Like they're like out in the
Oh
forest
yeah,
somewhere.
little yeah,
Because
because
like
Magma
literally they
was
started out with
shiny.
it being like, hey, we're all gonna leave. Bye. I was like, all right, so the Black Bulls base is about to get annihilated because everybody just left. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna teleport. Yami's gonna go fight the Blue Rose captain. Fenrir's probably gonna go fight his brother, and then that's when we'll like start seeing the fight segment, and then we'll have the episode by episode fights with different people.
I thought the Fenrir and Ghosh and Vanessa like and Asta like tag team like move was gonna be like bread and butter for like
Oh
every
yeah,
fight. And it was
yeah.
only for
It
like
threw
that
me for a
one.
loop. That
I'm
I mean,
like,
I
no, we could just do that for a lot of situations, I think, guys.
they're like maybe not this one because he's bad now, but
I loved the valiant effort by the Wizard Kings, like two right hand men versus Asta and Yuno, but how Asta and
Doctor
Yuno
and
just
Marks or whatever.
yeah, they just slice through it. Also, I just love how they like described who I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Yami or Asta. It was like instead of his mana feeling like it's meant for healing people, healing bones, it feels like it's meant for breaking bones or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh, that's cool. That's gives it a little eerie of a.
I, I think one of my favorite things also about that show is they've done it a few times is where like it's like a fog screen. Oh,
Sorry, sir.
it's like a fog screen, and they're like, do you think just because you're blinding me, we can't see your magic? And Yuno's like, you're not looking for magic, and then it's just like puff of the break of the cloud, and it's just Asta coming in torqued swing ready, like
Ooh,
love
that's
it.
happened 3 or 4
Oh yeah,
times now,
because there was
right?
the
he
the
also
dark
really
cloud
got
guy.
surprise attacks for the most part.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how he went.
oh yeah, because they like
You
are so
don't
focused.
realize that I it doesn't matter. I'm immune to you. Like what? You
You
invincible.
can't detect
That's
me.
your superpower is you're invincible and have swords that are invincible.
And
Fucking not fair, really,
Mata
if you think
Mata.
about it. Oh man,
Yeah.
I thought they were really gonna kill the temporary captain of the Red Crimson Lion or the Crimson Lion.
Oh,
What is it?
Fugolian? Fugolian?
Fagolion? Not
Fugolian?
see. No, I'm talking about the temporary one, the sister. When she went
Oh,
all out,
yes.
the episode before last, when she
Oh,
went
yeah, where she's
all
just like,
out,
purgatory. Just like,
and it made she went out. She was more of a badass, empowering female character than Tsunade.
oh, yeah.
Like she uh she passed out on her feet.
Well, that, and like, I knew she was going to be cool when Asta's Black Bull form, like, or his demon form was like, going for the strongest person on that mountain. It went past Yami, past the Blue Rose Captain, shot straight up the mountain right at her, and she just grabbed
Right.
it with like her mana hand or whatever, like the lion hand. I was like, ooh, ooh, you're dangerous. You're real dangerous.
She literally like fucking grabbed him with like a tailed beast arm almost. Like
Yeah, like I was like, okay, and
apparently the flame mana can do that, I think though, because think about later that episode of next with Fugolion awaking from his slumber
he
and
has the
he
mana arm. He's got like the
oh
flame arm. Yeah,
yep, yep. And for a minute, I was like, "Wait, how come he gets it now? Like, it didn't make sense." But I'm glad it explained that all the way. I really was because
yeah.
while it was happening, I was like, "No, I really need to know like the logistics on how this shit like
Because I
goes
thought
from
the
one
girl
person to
had
the next."
salamander. How does he have
Or
it now?
no, it just chooses the next person. It like
Yeah.
thinks, yeah. That's a really cool element, and I can't wait to see. I mean, think about it. There has to be a water spirit, right?
Oh
We
yeah.
and we have a royal with water magic.
Yeah.
So
I think that'll probably be like the like an arc down the line.
yeah, yeah. I really like Yami as a captain though, like how he
Takes the misfits and like
yeah, yeah, just
where like
everything
all the other
about
captains are like
it.
they have to be privileged. We need to have like the most pristine, like
Uh-huh.
the most powerful or like the most privileged, the most like elegant.
Royal
And then ya-
bloodline.
Yami's
Mhm.
like, who was almost rejected? You can come into
Ah,
mine.
you can be useful.
Well, that and we find out like literally almost all of them were given like got through the back door. Like Asta's like the only one that actually made it through like the training exam. Yami just
Yeah,
gave out. Like,
fucking weird by the way. Like he could just Yami's just like self-recruiting this whole
yeah, he's
time.
like, here he goes, here you go, Zora, here you go. And it's like,
So did you know that it was William Vengeance who was leaked
I figured, I figured from like the beginning with the tree.
that whole arc? Yeah, with the tree and that
I
talk with
figured
him
as
and
soon as
Yami.
animes have a really bad habit of like backstoring usually a significant character,
Right.
and it's
You're like,
either it
oh,
either
either something
premises a
bad's
death,
happening to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
or like you're gonna be like something's gonna like drastically change. And as soon as they brought up his backstory, I was like, okay, so somehow he is like he's gonna be the trigger for Midnight Sun. And then as soon as they were like, he wants to meet with them on top of the castle, I was like, all right, so he's linked. Yeah, but
I'm naive as all hell, and I it didn't hit me until I was like, no, no,
no, they wouldn't do
no.
that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's him. I thought he had a really pure backstory, and I was kind of digging it, but whatever.
So I do want to bring this up. So talking about people dying, you said you watched Akame ga Kill.
Oh no, I haven't watched all of it yet. I'm sorry.
But you watched
I
some of it, right?
yeah, like 3 episodes.
Do you like how they literally at the beginning they tell you like if a person with a sacred gear fights another person with a sacred gear, one of them has to die. It
Right,
I
right.
was like, as soon as that, I was like, oh man, this show's don't get invested in
Oh,
any
this
characters.
is this is a mature anime. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, even like the first episode in like the mansion, like you're like, oh
Oh,
wow,
dude.
like
My
it.
friend Zach, I was telling you about, he was
Yeah.
staying the night, and he had me watch it with him the first episode, and like he wanted to see me react to it. And I did just say I'm naive as hell, but something about that one I knew from the get go, and
Oh yeah. As
especially
soon as
watching
they're
a
like,
second time
we
over.
love like helping people, and I was like, this is too
Oh no,
pristine. They're messed up.
I knew as soon as the wagon pulled up and shit, and I was like, oh, they they gonna kill him.
They're gonna go
Like
after him.
there's no reason that they would be nice to this person at all,
My my
even in the
favorite
anime world.
my favorite character in that show is the I
Gay
forget
guy,
his name. The what?
the
No,
gay guy.
no. The Wire kid, the kid with the green hair.
Yes. Yep.
I know he's like the womanizing
The perv
character,
character. Yeah.
but I love his. I just for some reason really like his like power of like the wires and stuff. Love it.
Yeah. No, I said that in immediately whenever they all appeared outside the mansion for the first time. That's one of the first things I said. I was like, okay, they're all staying on wires and shit. That's dope. And then Zach was like, yeah, that's one of the guy's abilities. I was like, tell
He's
me
the
more.
coolest. Yeah, love it. Yeah.
uh so after no, let's go back to Naruto real quick. So
Okay.
who's your favorite non character in Naruto?
Sorry,
And
what was it?
why? Who's your favorite not Naruto or Sasuke character in Naruto?
Uh, let's see. So I'm like mentally thumbing through that entire like catalog of people.
If easier to start with, we could also either start with that or favorite antagonist throughout Naruto.
I'll start with my favorite character that wasn't Naruto or Sasuke. I would have to say is Asuma. I really liked Asuma.
Ooh,
He was probably
ooh.
my favorite just because he was like the like all about him like teaching Shikamaru like, hey, this is what you got to be like. This is what's most important, and like showing him how to be like a tactful, a leader, and then it goes on to show like in the backstory where he like abandoned the village for a little bit to go do the fire monk thing, right? Am I wrong? Am I right?
Yeah, the Temple of Fire or the Land of
Yeah,
Fire.
and I was like, and then like after that
That's
he
when he
realized
learned
like,
that hand technique.
yeah, I was like,
Ooh.
he's just so cool. I was like, and I love that he like may not be Naruto sensei, but Naruto still like went over to him and was like, I don't know how to use wind chakra. How do I use it? And he's like, I got you, man. like, uh,
Right? He was the cool uncle to
yeah, like
Naruto.
yeah, oh yeah, I loved him. That was probably
He's that cool uncle that has like knives that he lets you play with, literally.
yeah. He's like, look at these kunai knives. You can put stuff through, but they pierce right through trees. And
This will help you, dude. I got you. Yeah.
then what'd you say? My favorite antagonist? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yes.
Um, let's see.
You know, I real quick while you're thinking, I didn't like is that we could have had more Asuma build up throughout Naruto or Naruto Shippuden. We really only got the real outlook on Asuma right before he died, which, like you said, like you get all the backstory right before something bad happens to your
Yeah,
character. Sam, my girlfriend, when she was watching it, she knew that like, oh great, so Asuma's gonna die. She
was it
knew
this?
when Jiraiya was gonna
I was
die.
like Jiraiya. They did the backstory before Jiraiya.
Um,
Like,
hey, I'm a naive fucking child,
you're
and
like, oh,
I
sweet
didn't know about
backstory.
anything, and all of them made me cry and hurt a lot. I think that's like one of the like nice parts about being not a seasoned weeb is I'm like, oh, what's happening here?
Yeah, it's like
A weeb's like seen this at least 4 other anime this month.
yeah, this man's gonna die. Yeah, I yeah, that's like I think the worst thing about watching so much anime now is like I feel like I can usually predict something, or like you can usually tell where something's gonna go because you're like, all right. Especially if you watch like certain animes that are done by the same people, because they
Uh,
like slowly do the exact same thing. So it's like,
yeah, but what is cool about the two, what I think should be the two mainstream animes right now is My Hero and Black Clover, is that they do a really good job of reconstructing a, a cherished and beloved formula for shojo.
yeah,
I think they really just perfected like the pacing, the lack of filler, the uh I mean, I don't know if you know this, but Black Clover isn't seasonal anymore. It's going for eternity now.
yeah. I
They go
remember
for
hearing about
eternity.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. I wish My Hero would do the same thing, but I'm glad because My Hero does do some wonderful things with animation that would be missed out on.
yeah. Well, that's like the same thing. I'm worried with Demon Slayer because I don't know if Demon Slayer, because where they're at, like it basically much like Black Clover, like it starts out a little slow and then it just keeps going and going and going. There's never like to me I've watched it and I've read it now. There's just no
Uh-huh.
filler. Like it's just constantly going up, and it's like literally it just keeps leading into the next arc every single like turn.
Right.
That I'm like, I don't know when they're gonna stop it because like there's literally no like a stopping point
That's
wouldn't
yeah,
work.
exactly. With Black Clover, dude, I was like, I feel out of breath. I literally felt like exhausted when watching it. And I was like we're gonna like
Yeah,
in the Witch Saga, whenever it became three different enemies stacked on top of each other, I couldn't handle it, bro. I was
is it
yelling at my
the
fucking screen.
Diamond, the Gem Kingdom or whatever?
The Diamond Kingdom and
Diamond
the Eye
Kingdom,
of
the
the Midnight Sun
witches,
and the
and then the
witches.
witches. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was it just I was like, well, surely something's gonna happen, and one of these guys is gonna be out of the fight completely. Nope, all of them super pivotal points to the fight. It is that intense. It is as intense as they're gonna let it be right now. It felt it was so awesome. It felt fan servicey because I was like, this shouldn't even happen. Wow, how is this all happening already? I wanted this to slowly be a progression where I learn about the village of witches and shit. Oh,
you're like, what? Yeah,
I was like, it does it all end here? Like, and almost every one of those fights start and keep escalating to the point where you're like, well, maybe this is where the arc actually already comes to an end. This fight's heating up. Nope,
nope, midpoint.
nope. Like I thought the riot or whatever, the disloyal, I thought that dude was gonna be dead at least two other times already, and like I thought we'd get over that hump, but that dude's
He's kicking.
yeah, yeah, and I don't know why his hair's like only got like three specks of brown in the front now, and the rest of it's white. Since now he's an elf, like no one else's hair changed. That's kind of fucking weird. But
He
that's
likes
the
to be
other thing.
edgy.
Manga readers making fun of us right now, but I want to know. I can't wait to find out. I need to be confirmed if they chose bodies corresponding to the powers that they had while elves.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Right? It
but it's
seemed
just
and
ironic that they also chose bodies that look exactly like their old ones.
right, was it based more upon looks and then their mana is just like applying what like the spells they knew to their newfound abilities or whatever, or elemental properties.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and
If I
see. Do
had to
you have
guess, it must be by looks because when they're all waking up, they instantly know what the person is, and it's not like they can sense by like, or they might be able to sense by like looking at the mana or anything like that. But I don't know. I think it might be by looks because they're like instantly like, oh, it's you. The only one that it makes me think like it's by like the power is when they licked and they're like, that's not licked. That's your brother. And he's like, oh yeah, that is my brother. That's weird that he got reincarnated like that. Like that.
Exactly. That's weird that happened like that. Anyway, uh, so we derailed a little bit. Favorite antagonist from Naruto?
I really liked the origami chick.
Conan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
she
liked
was
her.
cool. Her last stand
Oh,
against Toby,
yeah, where she's like does the entire like just swarm of things, and
and they're
he's
all paper bombs, or
yeah.
those paper bombs like put into those so you can't tell which one. And it's just oh she, yeah, that was one of the best fights in Naruto. It's a very underrated fight.
Oh yeah, because she's like, you can try to come after him, but I will try to kill you. And he's like, I really don't want to have to do this. She's like, I'm not gonna like. It was just so sweet. Like she was bad, yes, because I mean, I guess she did some bad stuff, but like I don't know. With the backstory, I was like,
I don't
oh, okay,
know. It never really said all the bad that she did. It really only
she
showed.
really just tagged along to like
Yeah.
with
I
Pain.
mean, right, not stopping evil is not standing up against the bully, just being a bystander is being worse than the bully, right?
At the
Some
worst,
people,
she was just the getaway driver. Like at best.
right? Oh, that's a good way of putting it. That's funny. Yeah, I really Conan was really cool. And her character design was like probably the like most like original and or like unusual because like every now and then she just like has different pieces of paper like flowing off of her or peeling away
Oh
from
well,
her and
yeah. It's
shit.
like well, yeah. I
Yeah.
liked it. I liked her art style.
All right. So I know you're a big Pokemon fan. Like you used to play a bunch of Pokemon, but you never watched Pokemon, right? Never.
Um, when I was in elementary school, I did. I didn't watch a ton of Pokemon, no. Like I watched like the original. It's very hazy what I remember, but
Uh-huh.
I did watch it at some point.
Got you. Got you. Well, on anime video game though, what's your favorite anime video game?
Oof.
Because I was starting with Pokemon with that, you know what I mean? But I've heard great things about the new One Piece game. I have not played yet. I'm sure you uh
It's on my
touch yourself
radar.
every night. What? No, no. You haven't played it?
I have not played it yet.
Bro, I would have look behind you. How have you not played it?
I
Like,
know.
bro.
I've got so many. I've got Attack on Titan. Uh,
Bro, I mean, and that's like I've heard that's the anime game of the year. I heard that one's the one.
I've
You
played.
bought the shit show that is Jump Force, but you didn't.
Hey, we had fun playing that game, all right?
I still have fun playing it, bro. I went ahead and bought that Ultimate Edition, man. I'm waiting on the freaking character packs that they still haven't released.
I played the tutorial and then I fought you. I have not continued on with the story.
Oh
Never got
my
anywhere
god.
past. I just learned
Oh.
the basic controls and was like, this will probably be enough to try to. I can
For
figure it.
those who think that it's gonna be a great, wonderful, immersive storyline where all the different universes come together, go fuck yourself because it's not that. It it
Better off just
is
fighting your friends with the random
it
characters.
is it is a Nintendo 3DS game thrown into the Unreal 3D engine. Let's be honest. The way it makes you click through dialogue is offensive. I'm like, oh, they're gonna stand there. Their mouth isn't gonna move. They're gonna stand there doing their stand still pose the whole
Oh yeah.
time, and you're gonna click through dialogue, and it's an entire game done that way. How did you get away with this? Who let you, and
But we'll
why?
let you play. We'll let you play All Might if you do this.
Like, you want to touch All Might? I'll let you touch All Might.
Well, if I've from what I've heard, I believe they're adding Tanjiro to. Uh
Oh, there's a mod for it, but I don't
oh,
know.
okay.
Oh. There's
I was
there's a
like,
mod for it. I scrolled past just last night actually.
I was like, I saw the mod,
I
or I
thought
saw
about
like
sending you
Conqueror
the
One
link. I
users.
scrolled past that on
I
my
was like,
YouTube.
oh no way.
Yep, I thought that was real. Yeah. No, they did add Bakugo and Fat Majin Buu though.
I remember I saw the Bakugo one.
Bakugo's fun to play as. It's his moveset is the is strategic in the ways that exactly how you think it would be. It plays exactly how you think Bakugo would play. There's like a slight delay. It's an explosion. You can do ground damage. You can use it to propel yourself. All of that good shit. It does well. There's dash attacks with it. It does all the good shit. But whenever my friend Zach was in town, I told you, now I'm a self-acclaimed huge Naruto fan, and I had never played
Oh, you told me about
Ultimate
this. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Ninja Storm. So my friend came and stayed the weekend with me, and I didn't do anything else. We tried watching like 2 episodes of Akame ga Kill, but dude, all we did, and he's the best ever, and I had to handicap him.
I had to do the
Uh,
same thing with a friend.
I'm like, no, no, no. You can only use children characters. I'll do the shit like that.
Mine was I I have a friend Matt that I played with, and I've played it, like I played it before. I'll say those are probably my favorite anime games. Like I really enjoy playing those.
Oh, that was what I was gonna retort with. Yeah, but that's
But
my favorite.
I uh I I was playing against him, and literally he was wiping the floor with every single person. I was like, fine, you get child 1010. That is the only person you're allowed to play. And he's like, okay. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And he was wiping the floor with me with child 1010. I was like, this is unfair.
Oh no, that hey, so he whooped my ass. So we played between 4 to 6 hours a day for the 3 days that he was in town. Like we played a lot of it, and I won. I can only count how many times I won on maybe two hands. Probably should. I don't know. By the third day, I didn't have him using a handicap. Finally,
What?
I trained like a Naruto character. Like how many times I just kept losing and losing, and kept changing my different strategies. And oh
You
man.
slowly raise the computer up a little bit when you're playing one on one.
Oh yeah, no, I still haven't played a single second of the story of that game. I've only fought him relentlessly for hours on end until my eyes hurt and my hands are shaking.
I mean, that's how I felt when I was versing you in Jump Force. I was like, you were like wiping the floor with me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so bad.
Uh-huh. Well, I still haven't beat that game all the way. That final boss fight in that game is real hard, and I know I could beat it if I like let myself lose a bunch of times and got better. But that, that's the worst combination is it has that shitty clicker dialogue and all that, stand still, ready to fight stance.
Yeah,
And but it's insanely hard too. I'm good. The and then him and I one of the days got tired of playing that Naruto game and tried playing Jump Force.
yeah.
Never try to go from that, like,
To
because they're
Jump Force.
they're
Yeah,
similar in fighting styles, but they're also extremely
I really
different.
wanna. I didn't pick it up, but I actually really wanted to. Was the My Hero?
Oh, I've watched a little bit of gameplay of it. Have you?
I I didn't. I never watched gameplay. I didn't look at reviews. I was like, I'll go at least into it like open
How
minded. That
dare
way, if
you
it's
have
terrible,
interest in that and not the One Piece game? The One Piece game is so cool that it makes me want to watch One Piece.
I was trying to. If it makes you feel better, the same thing. I wasn't gonna go into it like knowing everything about it. I just haven't had the time to buy it. I'm sure I will play it because I finally watched a gameplay of it last night, and I was like, "All right, that Big Mom fight's pretty dope looking. I need to play
Yeah,
it."
but like there's a lot of like click through dialogue in it, like a DS game,
Yeah,
and then it has, I don't know, like I saw someone's gameplay of them being like frustrated. There's like this like the one scene in like season 2, whenever you're training with the old fast guy,
Yeah.
when he's like training with him and in his house and he has to catch him around the house.
Yeah.
That looked controller throwing stupid. It looked it was terribly designed. The camera angle was different than the rest of the game. It looked frustrating. I
Also,
didn't like it.
I want to change what my video game answer is.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna go with Persona 5.
Oh no, this is what's that?
Have you not heard of
It's
Persona 5?
a video game.
It's literally the uh like all the cutscenes. It's kind of like Nintendo DS kind of control move around, but it's almost like a weird mix of like Pokemon, a dungeon crawler, and then the cutscenes are straight anime, like 100% anime.
Huh.
I've played through it. Whoops, I played through it once, but I started the second gameplay on my PS4. But it is like, I don't know, it's really cool. It's like you play a high schooler kid that can basically like you can go inside people's like minds basically. Like it's like you go inside their minds and like you go to like their like what they think the world is like. So like the first one is you go to a high school, or it's your high school, but like the volleyball coach thinks that he's got a ton of stuff for the school, so he feels like he can't be fired, so he feels like he's like the king of the school, and he ends up going to like the high school, and one day he like realm transports, and it's like a castle, and it's run by him, and it's like you
Oh.
pretty much like it's turn based, but it's like Pokemon. So like you go up against these like demons, and they're like, well, this one's weak to psychic damage, and so you have all these characters have different people, and it's like each character, like you can build your team because they each have a spirit or like someone that's or persona that's with them, and each person has like a huge character developmental story as to why like they're with you or like why they're so like each individual next boss is like you get a new person with a persona, because like they basically, to get a persona you have to like cast away what you're feeling. So like the main guy, he constantly feels like he's the main guy's confusing. The first one you get, he feels like he's always weak. Like he basically like the king of the castle basically like got him kicked off the track team, like made him look like a delinquent at the school. And so like basically they have to take a mask and like rip it off their eyes, and they like start bleeding, and then that's when they can like get access to their persona, and then that's when they become like the true forms of themselves, and so then they can like kick ass and use like fire and like stuff like that. But like all the cutscenes, like it'll
Oh.
it'll swap between like
So you have to
Nintendo.
overcome some kind of like resolve, and then you
Hmm.
can.
And it's like it's weird because like they'll basically like they'll be on the floor, and then they just hear like a voice inside them being like basically saying like, oh, like you think you're weak, like cast aside that, like you're strong, like just give into it. And then that's when they're like, you're right, and they like rip the mask off, and they like unmask themselves basically. It's like unmasking. So like all the dungeon crawler aspect is like you have to maneuver around and like stealthily move around, and you basically go up to these like demon things, and how you find the demon things is like you're going up to regular civilians technically, and it's like them having their true demons. So like you go up to these people and you're basically ripping their masks off, and that's like they have really their catchphrases are like show your true form, stuff like that, and then they like kill the demon, and then they like get the person like basically you can completely have someone have a change of heart, because he like was not, I don't even know how to describe it. He was like trying to blackmail girls on the volleyball team and stuff like that to like having sex with him and stuff like that. It's a very
Oh.
it's a mature game, and
Oh.
they like and they want to try to get him to admit to it. So it's like they can get people to have a complete change of heart by like going into their like flaw, and basically they force them, like they take away like their confidence, and then they're like, you need to realize your guilt, like you're a terrible human being, and then the people are like, oh my god, you're right, oh my god, I have to have a change of heart. So it's like you force people to have a change of heart, and like it's really weird because it's like it's not even like just in their world, because then the authorities start noticing, because the authorities are like, somehow there's a group of people that are like making people have change of hearts, and like it it's really cool. But like I said, it hops between like literally 3DS like stick and like walking in like click X X X through dialogue, but then randomly it'll give you a cutscene and it's like full on anime. Like there's like a scene where the head
Like,
guy
oh, this
Joker,
is why the rest of it looks so clunky
there's
because
like a
this part
yeah,
is dope.
there's like literally the intro. One of the intro parts is like Joker runs through and he's running through a casino, and they're like the cops are coming after you, and it just shows cops like rushing this casino, and he like jumps and does like a backflip and breaks out of like a stained glass like window, and he like breaks out into the moonlight, and it's like all super well done. But I think what I like about it the most is like each person, like each character is related to a tarot card. So there's like the
Oh.
like each person like plays their like each character is their like tarot card. So like it's like the fool, and it's like that's the kid that like was always like fooling himself thinking that he was weak and he was actually strong. And then there's like the girl that's too smart, and like the pretty girl, and like all this stuff, and each person in his life gets like a a like a tarot card, and basically like you form friendships and like build up your tarot card like characters, and they
What
each
what
play
what
the
system is this game for?
PS4. I think it's on Xbox. I'm not 100% sure, but
Okay.
it's super fun. I'm
And what's
hoping
it called again?
Persona 5.
Uh, It seems like one of the ones that could be on the Xbox Game Pass or something. I wonder.
But
And those are
they
probably.
actually, the entire anime, or like the entire game got animated. Like they end up every time, like at the end of the game, they end up just producing an entire anime. So you can actually watch the anime and just watch Persona
Oh,
5.
okay. Well, I might do that then.
And it's, I know that one's on Crunchyroll. But yeah, they have like you can
Okay.
watch Persona 5 as just an anime, and it's the exact same art style, like the same people do it.
So does Jacob only watch dub as well? Your friend Jacob?
Uh yes, unless I force him to watch something that like if
All
it's
right.
something that like Naruto, it's not entirely, or at least where he's watching it's not entirely dubbed, so he's in subbed. So like getting him to
Would you?
watch
Go
what's
ahead.
that? I was gonna say
Go ahead.
trying to get him to watch anything subbed is like pulling teeth.
Yeah. No. So that's the exact same dynamic that my friend Zach and I have. He's the further weeb. I really like anime. My favorite thing about, and I do nothing but talk about it. But I don't have the. I'm not seasoned. I'm not veteran like you guys.
Jacob's like,
And it's
I
so
just
weird
don't
because
understand.
it's like. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say Jacob's always like you. He's like, I don't understand how you can read so fast. He's like, it's like everything's happening picture by picture, and he's like, you know exactly what's going on. I was like, yeah, you literally just glance down and you read it real quick. And he's like, I can't read that fast. He's like, I feel like I can't catch up in like intense scenes and stuff. And like, he's like, you literally just have to have a Sharingan to watch subbed. And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. But it's funny. So like Zach and I, it's like a Naruto and Sasuke dynamic. And if you and Jacob were Naruto and Sasuke, who would be Naruto and who would be Sasuke?
Jacob would definitely be Naruto.
I thought so. It's so
Jacob would
funny.
hundred
We're
percent
the
be Naruto.
naive, like innocent people. I'm Naruto in this situation as well, and Zach Sasuke.
Yeah,
It's even funny because we like both of the other people, like Jacob and I both have blonde hair, and you guys both have darker hair. Like it's literally you're both even paler people. It doesn't make sense.
oh, here, wait. I have to hold on just a second. I have something to show you.
All right. We'll be back after these messages. Just kidding. Oh.
So
Bitch.
Jacob calls me Sasuke so much that he got me Sasuke's sword.
Oh, I have to do this for Zach. Oh, I have to. Oh, no, unsheath it all the way. Show us. It's super
It's,
cool. Now use your Chidori to infuse the blade with
I used to
chakra.
know the hand sign, but you can't really see it,
Bro,
but it's got.
I swear my heart sank. I thought you were gonna be like, I used to know how to do it, and I was gonna be like, Do you know how to use chalkboard?
Yes. But you can kind of see it's like even got like the Uchiha symbol down at the bottom.
Ah!
It's yeah, he was like, I splurged on you or it was Christmas. He was like, I splurged on you, and I was like, what'd you get? He's like, you're gonna love it so much.
Well, now the next gift has to be the Orochimaru arc outfit for Sasuke with the
Oh yeah,
like two
so
tie
I can be all of it. And then I have
oh,
another sword. I don't know if you would know this one, but it's wait, hold on.
I would love to see it.
I've got Mugen's sword from Samurai Champloo.
Oh, I've seen AMVs of it. I've heard many things of that anime. I've seen
Yeah,
AMVs of it. I love the hilt and design of that.
yeah,
Seeing that makes me want to watch that anime more. Also, is that like the same strap that he has in the anime too? That was a really cool looking strap.
yeah. It's the exact same. Like all of it. It's the
Yeah.
exact same.
Uh,
Yeah, I got that.
wow.
A con.
Are you a big Inuyasha fan? What other swords would you add to a sword collection? Not that you have one, but if you were to like collect like two more anime swords, what would be the must have?
Um, I'm looking for Law's sword from One Piece.
Mm.
Uh,
I just made this edit last night because Zach's favorite character from One Piece. I didn't watch it right, so I wanted to make one of those anime edits with a One
mhm.
Piece character, and he was like, "You should do Zoro." I was like, "Cool," but he doesn't realize that my Photoshop abilities are kind of limited. And he
Yeah.
was like, "Do one of Zoro with he just got the sword named Enma, and do it with that, and like put this and this and that." And I did my best. It's pretty cool, but I had to use like a manga cutout of him in the shadows with his new sword. It's a really cool.
Yeah.
Zoro is the one like the thing that the little like shiny dangly lure for One Piece for me. I'm like, ooh, that makes me wanna.
My my favorite character, which actually was probably the one that wanted me to watch One Piece, was my friend sent me a fight scene of him fighting against Law, and he
So
ate the
Law is the main is his brother, right?
no, that's
The main dude's.
Ace.
Oh, okay. Which
Luffy,
one's
there's
Law?
Ace.
Describe what he looks
Law
like.
is the one that wears like the all black outfit, and he's got like the usually hat, but he's got the long black hair and like the piercings on his ears. But
I don't,
his power is he ate the OP fruit, and so basically he just like he likes in the anime he just goes like this and he just says like room, and basically a giant bubble comes around and he can control everything in that room. So like he can make himself teleport and move around, or he can like what he does is he'll cut people in
he can
half.
fly in Raijin with it. Oh
Like
wait, but that's different. Okay, so he can manip. So it's like flying Raijin, but even more overpowered than that,
yeah,
because
he
he can
like
just change a area, space, and time, and he can do whatever in it.
well his one of his big moves is like an entire arc is he can cut people's hearts out and they're still alive, so he'll just hold their hearts in his hand, and he'll like he can be like, I can kill you right now if you'd prefer, and like he can like like there's
Ooh.
a part where he like finally unleashes when like a bunch of marines come in, and he basically makes like a huge room and he just starts slicing the ships like into ribbons and just like starts making this congealed mess, because he can keep like he can cut people like literally into little ribbons and they're still alive, like they're just forced
And
to live
like,
as like little chops, like yeah, because
oh
he's
my
like
god.
the op admin of like this space that he creates. So like he's probably my favorite.
Wait, so the fruit the fruit he ate was really called the OP fruit,
Hmm.
and then it made him OP.
Yeah, pretty much. They like to go for names.
I don't think it's funny. I think it's beautiful.
But yeah, like his backstory is like super intense, like overcame everything, like, and you like find out all
What's
of
his
his
sword look like?
uh it's basically
I'll pull it up. I'll throw it up there for people watching the podcast. I'll put it
it's
there.
I can't remember the actual technical term for his I don't think it's an urodachi, but
It's all good. I'm
basically
definitely gonna
it's
be
like
looking it up.
black, it's a little bit longer, and then it's got a black hilt, and then the cross guard is just white fur, like a white fur circle.
Ooh,
And
kind of like the Inuyasha sword.
kind of exactly like that kind of cross
Oh,
guard.
That's cool. Sam really likes Inuyasha. She watches that one a lot, and I haven't watched. I've watched a little bit with her, and I just from the little bit I've seen like that, and like the story behind that sword. I think that would be a cool sword to like have the sword from Inuyasha. The how it's his dad's fang. I'm like
Oh God,
badass.
dope.
Okay,
I
that's
had
some anime type shit. Okay.
I did have a Keyblade for a really long time,
Oh, and you don't
but
have it no more.
no, my friend was a bigger fan than I was, and he came down, and I was like, I didn't have anywhere to put it, and it was just like sitting around. And so I was like, you'll actually hang it up because he was like obsessed
How
with it.
come you have countless weapons sitting around that you give away to friends? I'm one of them. I
I was
have a
like,
paint
I was like, I
sword.
don't even know what I gave you. I
Hey,
think I gave you an
hey,
axe.
bro. I hope you come over one day because like I've moved like and it's been multiple years and I've moved since you gave me this like sword that's a cane,
The
like a
cane sword,
secret.
that's what I gave you.
Yeah. And I have kept it by my front door in both houses. It stays in like the corner next to my front door. I don't think I would ever unsheath it to use it as a weapon. I think I would use it as a blunt object. I
Oh
think it
yeah,
is
that thing's
more effective
hefty.
as a blunt. I want to twirl that motherfucker like a baton.
It makes you feel better. I have more than just like actual weapons. I have the like a full metal Captain America shield, but that thing's hefty.
Oh, I know you had that too with and I know you have an Iron Man mask, the intense Iron Man mask that
That's
comes
my
up off and
dad's. That was my dad's. Yeah, my dad had the Iron Man one, but I have.
Well, hey, that just goes to show why you have anime memorabilia. Your dad's the type of dude that has a super expensive Iron Man mask that comes apart and
I do have in my room. I have like a full metal like actual Naruto kunai.
Oh, dude, Sam got me a I have a set of like three small like throwing kunai with the hidden leaf symbol on them.
Yeah, like my
I
like
would
it's the size of what they use in the anime. Like it's like huge.
oh mine are like fun things I want to take to one of those axe throwing places
Oh yeah,
so I
just
could also
yeah.
yeah, like pew, pew,
Yeah.
pew.
Yeah.
But I think speaking of Naruto and anime memorabilia we would like to have, I would put I would make a shrine for Minato's kunai. I would make a
Oh
shrine.
yeah,
I would
Raiju
that's
kunai or whatever.
yeah, the flying rising one. Which
Yeah.
by the way, I've looked in depth. I've done over an hour and a half of looking into it. No one knows exactly what Minato's signature says. It's like it's like two different kanjis in the beginning, and then the rest is like a scribble of his own handwriting flair, and it's indecipherable. So it doesn't. So no one even knows what the fuck it says. It says
Yeah,
like love
it's
and shinobi. It says love and shinobi in the beginning, but that's it.
you know what I just realized. Remember when we were talking about your favorite part is when Naruto pops into the village and the pain fight gets summoned in.
Yeah, and he has the robe.
I just realized I was like, it's right above my
Yo, I don't
camera.
have any of those. I don't have any of those. But if I ever got one, I think I would need that
Also have
one.
the
Hey, nice, nice. Any other value or cherished anime memorabilia?
I do have. He took a header and broke his leg, but I do have a Naruto one. Where
Oh,
it's got like the
got a little stun gun in his hand.
I see it, but he fell, and I will let you know
Uh,
this is super sharp, and it fell directly on my hand. So
oh,
Naruto
tight.
Naruto took a header off the top.
I just want to say, I mean, it looks good and all, but it's unrealistic in one way. Naruto at that age did not have control over a Rasengan without a motherfucking team of clones.
Oh yeah, no, he needed full
He
team.
has a perfectly spherical Rasengan and fuck out of here.
The creepy thing is you can change his face, so I just have like a random like Naruto, just the
No,
face.
no. That's forbidden. That's no, you.
Just you can see right into
Oh,
his eyes.
yeah.
It's
I've seen people that collect like anime figures and stuff. Like, have you seen there's a famous, not famous, but like a viral video of someone who has a collection of like pieces of like these like little mantle pieces of all the Akatsuki members.
I've seen those ones, yeah.
Have you seen like the person who has them all in a row and it's like the most beautiful shit you ever seen?
I
Yeah.
watched an unboxing of like like
Yes.
multiple $1,000 like One Piece statues, and they like all like light up. I was like, oh my gosh, I want one.
Dude, do you remember the YouTube series Epic Mealtime? Still currently airing?
Yes.
Okay. The creator of that, Harley Morenstein, he used to vlog pretty much back when I was at Vision Able. And it was really one of the only people I've ever watched vlog. One of the things I really liked is he has probably over $50,000 or more put into his uh figure collections and has them all displayed in cool ways and always like unboxes them and everything in his vlogs. And he's more of a Marvel fan and shit and stuff. So like I think you'd like a lot of his
Vlogging
the
stuff.
yeah, a lot of the stuff he got. Like, and then he got so much of that stuff that he made an account on Instagram and does that close up like toy photography shit where it looks like
Oh
it,
yeah.
and he has lights and like goes on Wish and buys different like prop things to use in backgrounds and shit. He's like, oh, I bought all these guys so that they could be like just regular characters for my GI Joes to beat up. Like that's funny.
There's I remember what I was going to talk to you this time about. So
Ooh,
you might have been there. How many ramen shops have you been to in St. Louis when you were here?
I know what you're gonna say. I still haven't been to the one that you told me about. I
Ramen
need to.
Tay?
I want to come back to St. Louis and go there with you. Oh, it needs to be a special
Ja-
day.
Jacob and I go as dates, and we just go there and get a ton of ramen and sake, and they always have like an anime playing on the TV. Like they had Naruto one time. They just had Naruto going.
Oh,
Like,
what episode? What episode? Do you know?
it was in the tuning exams. I can't remember what episode it was, but I just
Uh,
remember vaguely that. But they have like an entire wall of Aba Ambu Black Ops masks, and like it's it's such a great place.
we all need to take a trip down to Florida and go to that damn Naru Noodle place. The place that's really like. Have you
Yeah.
seen? Have you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
The table all have like the five Kage like hats on them and shit, and like
Yep, I've
yeah,
seen it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I honestly that is such a cool idea. I want that for my future dining room or kitchen
Oh yeah,
table. Like
just get the paint. Like yeah. It's
Sam's a full on Nartard, bro. Like I think honestly for Halloween she's gonna buy a full on Kakashi cosplay because she cut her hair all short and everything and has it all gray and everything. She didn't
my.
even realize that she did it, and she's like, "I'm gonna
So
gender swap Kakashi."
I think the last I think the last time you interviewed me too, I was wearing the
Yeah.
same hat, but my hair is super short on the sides and super long on top. So one of
Ooh.
these days I was thinking about, or to a con, I was gonna cosplay as Kakashi and just like either dye my hair
Yeah.
silver or spray it silver and just do like a full Kakashi.
Dude, Trey, you would exponentially become so much more of a. Not that you're not. You're such a cool guy, but you would be the most interesting looking person ever. Like, just you'd be. You could, you know what? People would be like, "Is that Kakashi or Danny Phantom?" I don't know, boy, but
well,
boy,
well,
dude,
there's so many
you
cool
really could
cosplays.
be both. You really could
Oh
be
yeah,
both.
there's so many cosplays I want to do that I'm like, I'm not
That
talented
was
enough
actually
to
one of my questions. Is that so? What? Give me one more that you would do if you had unlimited resources.
unlimited resources. I have like a whole list of them. I would love to do Tanjiro now. That's a given.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro, I was messaging Zach while I was watching that episode yesterday, like updating him on what I thought about individual things as they were happening, and I was like, "Oh, dude." I love the design of this anime and everything, and man, do I love it whenever a main character has hair that I like, and then seconds later it cut off his fucking hair. And I was like,
Oh,
get
what?
attached to anything in this anime.
That's not allowed. They don't get to cut their hair. Yeah.
I
Sasuke would
was
be
like,
on.
okay, Sakura.
Yeah. 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 I'd like to be Sasuke. Probably. I'm trying to think because I've had a few others that I've really wanted to do.
What
Like
version of Sasuke would you want?
they're Orochimaru.
Yeah, that was the coolest Sasuke.
Yeah, like the giant knot. I was like, I just love it.
Yeah.
I would
You
like to do.
know, never were we explained why anyone would have that to
Yeah.
become useful. Did someone like untie themselves and like drop off some weights or anything? Nope, nothing cool. It never made fucking sense.
I
It is
feel like
actually one of the many plot holes.
you know what I do want to do. My next one I want to do is I want to do a Luffy cosplay
Uh-huh.
because I feel like I'm lanky enough. My
Yeah, I was about to say
I was like,
skinny dude with black hair.
I'm
Fuck,
lanky
you
enough,
got so
and
many options.
I would do post time skip where he has the giant scar on his chest, which would work because my chest sinks in, so I could just
Ooh.
do the.
So I wanted to talk about that. So do you have any specific anime characters or protagonist? Doesn't have to be like a main character at all, but any specific characters that you've ever felt a connection to because of your condition? And can you talk about your condition?
So basically, I'd say the first time I really noticed it was sixth grade. Didn't get it fixed until junior year. Yeah, I think junior year of high school. Was my chest went in about 5.3 inches. So you could pretty much take a tennis ball and
That's
just
bigger
like
than most people's dick tray.
it was it was a very scary time. But
Wait,
basically
my favorite tidbit was that you could eat cereal out of your.
I never did. I just you could.
You know, you said a bowl there or something.
Oh yeah, no, I would put a bowl there. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
easy.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I could also I
But
would
it was deep enough you didn't need the bowl. Legends
yeah.
has it though.
Oh yeah, never. I used to love doing pictures where I would walk up, Jacob would put his fist in my chest, and I would jump off the ground,
God,
and so it looked like he was punching like into
fucking
my chest.
if My Hero Academia had been around at the time, you would have just been
Oh yeah, that's what we thought about after. But yeah,
Detroit Smash. Sorry,
uh,
continue though.
because unfortunately, there's not a lot of anime characters with just weird deformed chests. Usually, they're
I
all
was
hunky.
thinking about it. I was like, I don't know. I bet
Yeah,
you wish you could do some Kimi Mara shit.
yeah. I was like, I mean, it looks a little better now, but it's definitely like still sunken in. But I feel like the best one I could play it off as is Luffy because Luffy has a giant fat scar from here, and it like is huge right here. So I was like, I could easily pull that off. So
But
I would,
like, I don't know. I kind of think it's cool. Not that I kind of assume having because you got to have a big steel bar put in there, and you still have to have like another surgery or something with it,
mhm.
right?
Yeah,
I
surgery to get it put in, the surgery to take it out.
so so does whenever you see things in anime where they have to repair people and make them like hybrid or something like that, does that ever like resonate with you? You're always ever think like that's cool, like when Naruto and Sasuke get the Hashirama cell arms, or
Less that I would say, like I do have. There's one part is because of it, my ribs are flared out, so my ribs are like this. And like I think you noticed too, like bottom like if I'm wearing like a shirt, you can see like the bottom part of my rib like sticks out. And every single time I think about like I always think about like what if my skin got too tight, my bone would go through, and I instantly think of the one Naruto and the original Naruto where the guy that could just kept pulling his bones out as like swords. It
no,
was
that's
just like
what I was saying.
I
That's
was
the
like, yeah,
first one I said. Kimimaru. Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
I
Kimimaru.
One Punch Man Genos, I was like, huh, I've had things bracketed into my rib cage before. Like,
See, exactly. That's what I'm
yeah,
talking about. But yeah,
yeah.
there's a different connection you can have with that. I guess I just was wondering if you had. But so what about your favorite anime movie? Standalone, does not coincide with a series. It's not canon to a series. It doesn't even relate to a series. A standalone anime film.
I'll go with Silent Voice right now. That's probably my favorite.
Pitch me that without spoiling.
Uh,
I've never even heard of it.
so basically the main character uh is I want to say he's like 18, 19 year old kid, and it starts out with him basically kind of show what type of mindset he is he's working his butt off and gets enough money, gives it to his mom because he like caused a bunch of problems and they were financially not stable when he was a kid, and because of his screw up his mom had to pay like all of their savings to like cover the costs of what happened. And so his plan is to pay it all off and then kill himself. Like that's right off the bat at the beginning of the movie. And basically his mom
Oh shit.
like basically finds half of his calendar like after a certain day is ripped off. And she's like, that's why you were getting this money. She was like, you were gonna kill yourself. And he was like, I mean, yeah. And she just starts kind of beating the crap out of him. And she's like, why? I want you instead of the money. And so after that, he kind of like takes a step back and he's like, all right, I need to confront like who I am as a person. And it takes you back to when he was a kid. And it's basically the reason it's called a silent voice and the reason all the money was out, or like they had to pay all the money, was in elementary school, they got a new transfer kid and she's deaf. And he just bullies her all the time. And like they would take her hearing aid and just chuck it out the window. And like he would like roll up newspapers and like go right up next to her ear and like scream into her ear. And she would like, stop it. And then one day he finally, she constantly like, even though he's like ripping her like hearing aids out, throwing all of her stuff into like a pond and stuff, she keeps coming up and like trying to sign like, let's be friends. And he's like, you're a freak. I don't want to be friends with you.
So is that what eventually inspires like his want to resolve?
His basically is all the main reason is when he's a kid, he rips one of her hearing aids out and it's connected like all the way around the ear, and he like ends up ripping part of her ear like off. So she has like a wicked scar, and then she leaves school and like never comes back. And like the principal like comes in, he's like, I can't believe you guys bullied this girl to the point where she doesn't ever want to come back to school, and like she's being moved to somewhere else. And basically the kid's like, I need to come back. And he's like, I need to find her and apologize. Like I can't, that was where I went wrong. And so it's his like, he finally meets up with her, and it's him like trying his best to be like, I'm sorry for everything I did, and like trying to help her. And he ends up falling in love with her. And like he's like, I can't believe I ever was mean to her. Like there's a whole new world that I've been like missing that she's showing me. It's a really good movie.
Wow, that might be the first that I don't know, that doesn't even sound like an anime because it's a slice of life one, but that might be like, I don't know. I've never watched anything slice of life-esque, so I might that was a really compelling pitch. That was good.
It's on Netflix for free.
Is it dub?
Yes, it is dubbed. That's what I watched it in.
It's dubbed on Netflix and as a movie, so I can sit there and watch it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
Oh, I could convince Sam. I could convince my girlfriend to watch it. What?
Yeah, it's super good, and the art in it is just absolutely phenomenal. Like everything in it is just super good.
I can't wait. Last time, so by the way, before you go, so we had this is our second interview. Last time you told me a great deal about, and I wanted to ask you again. What's that food anime you were telling me about? Because I found myself wanting to look it up last night.
Shogugeki Food Wars. You could just look up Food Wars anime and it'll pop up. But it's called Shogugeki Food Wars, and it's you go to a culinary school and you can battle people for like, basically you can battle each other for the top rank in the school by like preparing these most intense meals. But the guy
so it's nothing but like tournament sagas.
What was it?
So it's repetitive tournament sagas.
Kind of, where like yes, like there is like obviously competitions, but there's actually a legitimate story to it. Like
Oh,
legitimate, and the reason that it gets a lot of slack is it's definitely fan service, but not like a like constantly showing like boobs and like panty shots or whatever. It's uh so the guy that created it, sorry, a little bit of backstory. The guy that created it got his start by making hentai. And basically
oh.
a company came up with like you do really good artwork, like we actually really like your
I
art.
like the way you make this cum glisten on them
Yeah,
titties. Will you do the same, but with the cinnamon roll and a
it's literally what they do.
beautiful buttercream glaze?
It's literally like and he like so they were like, you can make an anime, and he's like, I have a whole idea for it. And so he does it, and it's like the food is to put it simply, it's orgasmic because like people's like it's like they eat it, they're like whisked away, their clothes blow off, and they're like, I feel like I'm being taken away by a bear with how the musk of this dish, and it's like it's so odd, but the
That one's
story's
only
really good.
sub, right?
I think it's
I
dubbed
think
on
it's only sub.
Funimation.
No way.
I think it's dubbed.
If that one's really dubbed, I think I'm gonna put it on whenever Sam and I eat dinner tonight.
It's so funny. Like there's like and it's so weird because like there's one judge that like it's a good dish is he'll instantly just go bare chested. So like they're like sitting there like uh-oh, he didn't really like the dish, and then Soma, the main character, comes up and delivers it, and the guy just instantly just busts his shirt, just like rips off, and he's just standing in front. He's like, "This was a good dish," and like it's
So
like
he all mites like
pretty much yeah, and it's like it's super weird because there's like a ton of different people, but it's much like not comparing it really, but it's like kind of Black Clover-esque with like all these different like star dormitories.
power
Everybody
type.
power type, yes, but it's like they're all like the outcasts of it. Like everybody thinks that the Polar Star
Oh,
dormitory is so weird because like one of the kids is like solely into smoking. Like that is his like whole thing is he smokes meats and like he can make the best smoked dish. And like one girl is
that's
all about
hot. I
all,
can't wait.
there's like one
That's
girl
so
that
cool. I love smoked dishes.
there's like one girl that she's entirely about like fermenting, like all about fermenting. So like all of her dish include like fermented things, and it's really cool to see because it's oddly weird because it's like yes, there are people with power types because there's like this person is they call him the aroma king because he knows ins and outs of spices. This guy is like all about Asian cuisine. This one's about French cuisine, and it's like it's weird because you go up against like the tournament style power tropes, and it's like Soma being like, well, I don't usually make like I've never done French cuisine before, but I'll learn. And so like off the top of his head, he's like trying to create this like dish, and it's basically his thing, like his power, you could say, is he grew up in a diner, and so like, but everybody has these intense cooking skills, like all like the smoking meats kid, or like the person that like they use grade A, like their dad is connected to like the beef supply of the world, so like she gets the best beef ever when she's making dishes. And so like when he's battling her, he's like they're like, what meat did you get to try to rival her? And he's like, well, I'm broke, so I went to the gas station and bought the dollar meat. And they're like, you're gonna give that to a judge and hope that you win this competition. He's like, with spirit I can do it. And like it's super weird with how they do it, but it's
I
like oddly
love it.
it's
I
oddly
love it.
satisfying.
The concept of it is so unique. I
Season
can't.
4 comes out
I
next
gotta
month.
try it. 4 seasons deep, and it's
Yeah,
about cooking.
it's so good though. It's so good.
I for real, bro. I'm about to download this shit when we get off this. I swear.
It's so great. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
All right. So on that note, let's wrap this up. Let's
All right.
leave. Let's end on the note that with give me pitch everyone an anime that you think they should watch, not based on what you think I should watch, but what you think everyone should watch that's maybe underrated or that you just think has such good morals it can't be ignored.
Um, I'll pitch it again. I'll have to go with Dororo. Like that's one that I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talking about. Because it came out a while ago. Like there was an anime and it's been a manga forever. forever ever. But like the new anime adaptation, I definitely recommend watching that just because it is a very good, like if you're, it's not like the character starts out super strong and it's almost reversed how it happens. Like, I mean, I guess he starts out strong, but it's like each episode he basically essentially starts off with nothing. Like he's a puppet basically. He just has like the meat, and every time he slays a demon, he gets a new sense back. And so like one episode he slays someone or like slays a demon, and he gets his hearing back. But the next demon that he's fighting is like a bird that screeches, and since he's never had hearing before, he's like absolutely like brought to his knees because he's like, I can't handle all these sounds going on. And like the next one is like he gets sent, and it's like he goes into like a mountainy range where there's like sulfur like deposits, and he's like, oh god, what is this? And like it's like it's weird because it's just great. It's not even weird, it's great because each episode it's like almost like progressively as he's turning human he's getting weaker. And so you're like, oh my god, like he's not going to be able to tackle the issue, like the same issues as he used to. And it's like, and there's like a whole, like that's not even like the main plot, like that's just like the subplot
within. Yeah.
And then it's like,
keeping back in mind, by the way, that this is also happening.
There's an entire plot line like just moving forward as he's like doing his thing, and they flow like effortlessly within it. Beautiful animation. Dude, my recommendation.
When Zach stayed the night and I told him about it, he was like, that sounds, we watched it talking about it, he's like, man, that sounds really cool. And we like looked forever, figured out what it was. And then he didn't watch it until when he left, and the day after he left, and I was scrolling through something and I saw a GIF, and I knew it was what you had described to me. It was him biting his arm and ripping off, and blades coming off.
He doesn't have any arms, so he has prosthetic arms, but in his prosthetic arms, he has katanas. So what he does is he goes like this and just bites them off, and then just throws his arms to the side and just runs at him with just katana arms. And like
I sent him a like 3-frame GIF of him like unsheathing one arm, and Zach binge watched the entire series in one day. It was like, he didn't even tell me. He didn't even like respond to that message. He just started watching it. I'm not kidding. It really overcame him. But all right, so want to check out one of Trey's favorites? Check out Dotoro. All right. Well, I guess that's all for today. We're at an hour 40. That's more than enough.
I'm really bad about rambling.
Oh, it's okay. I don't even know how we got from topic to topic, but I think we talked about everything I wanted to this time. And all right, don't hang up. I'm gonna end the recording, and then we'll close it out. All right. All right. See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys.